Le gospel, genre musical et message spirituel, est au cœur de la chorale d'origine sud-africaine, le Soweto Gospel Choir. Ce collectif évolue depuis 2002 sur la scène mondiale et compte un palmarès époustouflant. Ils étaient à Maurice pour un concert unique au Trianon Convention Center le 24 mai 2024 par le biais du Centre Nelson Mandela pour la culture africaine et le ministère des Arts et du Patrimoine culturel dans le contexte des célébrations du Africa Day. Ce chœur se produisait pour la deuxième fois à Maurice. Nous nous sommes immiscés en coulisses la veille du concert durant les réglages sonores.
The visit of the Soweto Gospel Choir in Mauritius is very important and it's exciting because we're celebrating Africa Day. And we are here in Mauritius to come and do a cultural exchange with the people of Mauritius. And we also here to celebrate Africa Day, to celebrate the beautiful continent of Africa.
Do you find it very symbolical that, that you should be here under the symbolical name of Nelson Mandela?
Yes, most definitely we should be here. I mean, when you're talking Nelson Mandela, you're talking Africa. When you're talking Nelson Mandela, you're talking South Africa. So we should be here because Nelson Mandela played a very big role for us to be here and for us to be singing and winning Grammys all over the world. So everything that touches the name of the iconic Nelson Mandela, we are glad and proud to be part of it. The choice of songs tonight will be the songs that represent South Africa, that represent Africa as a continent. Because I mean, we are here to not only to sing, but we are also here to minister. Minister in the cultural way where we're teaching people about songs that they don't know about, songs that they've never heard of. So tonight they'll be hearing those songs being sung by Soweto Gospel Choir. So it's a beautiful repertoire that speaks about South Africa, the different cultures and faiths that we have, and also the different languages that we have in our country.
Maybe a few comments about being here in Mauritius. It's a small island off the African continent, still part of Africa. So how do you feel about being here for Africa Day?
We're happy to come here to celebrate the Africa Day as we all South Africans, Africans. We're happy that we've been invited. What a privilege.
Island Voices Mauritius se produisait aussi en première partie de ce concert. Cette chorale, composée de nombreux Mauriciens et de chanteurs internationaux, devait également partager un moment de scène avec le Soweto Gospel Choir. Rencontre avec quelques passionnés de chant lyrique.
So Island Voices Mauritius, we've been singing together since more than 15 years. It's only a few years that we organized ourselves under that name so that people know when we come Island Voices Choir, we say in Mauritius, when we do international things, because we've been invited to some international events, and we call ourselves Island Voices Mauritius. We are singers from all different backgrounds. We have a number of nationalities in the choir, mostly Mauritian now. And we sing a wide range of opera, musical, world music, a little bit of everything, and we just have fun together and try to be the best we can be.
And tomorrow you'll be sharing the stage with the Soweto Gospel Choir, and I think you're also performing together at on one of the items.
To perform with the Soweto Gospel Choir was a surprise for us, and it's really quite exciting, quite amazing, because we didn't see that coming. We just heard that they are singing African music. We did a program with African music, and just for fun I said, we could sing one song together, and then they invited us to join them, and that's actually really great. I think Soweto Gospel Choir is one of the most famous choirs in the world. I mean, it's one of the ones I knew since long ago, and even before I met my South African husband, I heard about the Soweto Gospel Choir before.
Heaven help us.
Comme Catherine l'a dit, je pense que c'est une grande surprise et une grande joie parce que c'est une chorale que moi j'écoute depuis plus de 15 ans et savoir qu'ils sont à Maurice et qu'on a la chance de chanter avec eux, c'est une forme de rêve, je pense, pour beaucoup d'entre nous dans la chorale. C'est pas notre première fois avec des Sud-Africains puisqu'on a chanté avec une autre chorale sud-africaine assez connue l'année dernière, très connue même. Donc non, c'est du partage, c'est beaucoup de joie, je pense.
Actually, they invited us just to be a part in their program, so they sing their own. We sing a little bit of our own, so we're going to sing Mauritian songs. We sing La Rivière and Sant L'amour, and we sing one song together, which is Shosholosa. It's like a second South African anthem, and is one of our favorites to sing as well. I think African music is just so special. So it has this earthiness to it, this originality. It's amazing how people just break into harmony wherever they are. Me coming from Europe, that's not something we usually do. It's fascinating, and I love the vibe. I love that most people can move, and it's just great music. I really love it.
J'imagine que vous êtes des chanteurs qui qui viennent de différentes affinités musicales. Peut-être il y a des rockers, peut-être il y a des voilà, mais voilà, vous avez trouvé cet équilibre entre vous dans une chorale. Alors comment justement tout cela, comment vous vivez ça vous de votre côté
Vraiment super intéressant. Mon background musical à moi, je suis plutôt world music, jazz, mais on a dans la chorale, bon c'est une chorale qui est une chorale classique au départ, donc on chante plutôt de l'opéra, des opérettes, on a participé à quelques comédies musicales, certains d'entre nous. Il y a des rockers dans notre chorale, j'ai un t-shirt un peu plus rock d'ailleurs aujourd'hui. Et non, mais je pense que c'est intéressant d'avoir des gens qui ont des backgrounds musicaux différents, et puis des backgrounds tout court différents. On a des gens de continents différents dans notre chorale. En plus des Mauriciens, on a des gens qui viennent d'Europe, d'Amérique, d'un peu partout. Donc je pense que c'est un melting pot qui est assez représentatif aussi de ce que nous sommes comme pays.
Le Soweto Gospel Choir compte un palmarès éloquent et des accomplissements remarquables. Voici quelques repères. Leurs albums Blessed, African Spirit et Freedom ont chacun remporté le Grammy Award du meilleur album de musique traditionnelle du monde en 2006, 2007 et 2019 respectivement. En 2010, ils ont collaboré avec le compositeur Christopher Tin sur la chanson Baba Yetu, qui a également remporté un Grammy. Leur performance sur la chanson Down to Earth pour la bande originale du film Wall-E a été nominée aux Golden Globe Awards et aux Oscars. Ils comptent également de nombreuses collaborations, notamment avec des stars comme Peter Gabriel et U2. Parmi les albums phares de leur discographie, Voices from Heaven, Blessed, African Spirit, Grace, Freedom et Hope. Since 2002, the choir has made an astounding journey throughout the music industry throughout the world, collaborated with so many different artists. What does that say about the power of African gospel and its ability to resonate with all kinds of different audiences?
It says a lot because you must remember that the African, the traditional gospel and gospel played a very important role during the apartheid years in South Africa, and it actually opened up people's eyes all over the world that they could see, because we sang gospel music to reach out to people. We sang gospel music to say this is what's happening. Every time when we prayed, it was gospel that played a very important role. So it's very, very important, and it played a very, very huge role for us to be standing here and in Mauritius celebrating this Africa Day.
How do you feel about being here? We're a small country within the African region.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be exploring this territory?
Well, it's actually a privilege that, us as South Africans, we are given an opportunity, to come here in Mauritius. It's the second time around here, and I'm so excited that we share our culture, that we share our heritage, we share our history, our rich history, especially Sowetan history, to the world, especially here in Mauritius. So we are so blessed and so honored to be back again to be sharing that.
It's very interesting, being the guy behind the music who has to probably be as discreet as possible to let the voices shine through. So how is it being a musical director for such a very famous choir in the world?
First of all, it's an honor for me to be a musical director for such a renowned Soweto Gospel Choir, such a great choir with individual, different dynamic individuals. It's sometimes challenging, especially on doing music, because sometimes you need to understand the range of individuals. But when times goes on, what really helps us is God, because we put God first in everything that we do. That's why we called Soweto Gospel Choir. Second of all, we rehearse almost every single day. So whenever we craft a new show, it can take us about a month, because we are united already. So united, we as socially we bond. It makes our music easy for us to execute.
So it's interesting that there have been so many legends of the world music industry, whether in rock or pop, etc., who've decided to collaborate with you. The other South African group to have had such a brilliance on the international stage is probably Ladysmith, Black Mambazo. How did this international journey start?
I think what happened is that we actually embraced it from the word go. And from the word go, we knew what we wanted and we knew what we were doing. And I'm happy because of, in your question, you did mention the legendary Ladysmith Black Mambazo. These are the people that we follow. These are our legends that paved the way for us. So whatever that we did, we looked at what they were doing, and we looked at how they were gathering people together, people of the world, and how people of the world would listen to their music. So we also wanted people of the world to listen to our music and understand our music, and also spreading the cultures and different different cultures and faiths that we have in our country. So from the onset, so it was Choir, when we started, we knew what we were doing, and we knew where we were going, and look today where we are.
Tell me, what is your feeling about the power of African gospel, to resonate with so many different audiences across the world?
It's one thing that I know for a fact. Music is a universal language. It doesn't matter whether you sang it in any language, as long as it reaches to people's souls. I mean, most of the time in our shows we sing in our foreign language. but the reception that we receive from the audience, it's as if they understand what we're singing about. So it reaches to the soul. So it's musical, it's universal, and it's very spiritual. So when we collaborate with a number of artists like your Stevie Wonder, Beyonce, Will Smith, Baby Winans, one thing that we learn from these guys, it's that they are different, and from them being different, we learn something from them. We've collaborated with Peter Gabriel as well. He likes our music, and his collaborations and ours goes hand in hand. So, yeah, music it goes through every single spheres of life.
There's a power in a song, of course, just because you're telling the story. Some of the stories, they were not told. Some of the stories, you get to learn through music, just because it's not everyone who reads those Bibles. So through music, of course, like if ever you're a spiritual person, through music, you can learn your gospel. Or if ever you're a traditional person, then you can learn your traditional music through music. Yeah.
Little question I haven't asked to anybody. Your musical director did mention that you rehearse every day. How is it like living as a choir, as a collective, every single day of more than 20 years? How is it? I mean, it's not a normal kind of. It's practically a congregation that even more than that. You're meeting every day. And how is it?
I think with that, it's just because, like, as a family, we call ourselves that now we are a family. So you know that in a family, of course, it's not like you're going to be happy each and every day. There's those quarrels, but just because we are a family, we do have a way of sorting those things out. And a prayer, I think that's one of those things.
Well, legends of the world music industry, whether in rock or pop, etc., who've decided to collaborate with you. The other South African group to have had such a brilliance on the international stage is probably Lady Swift, Black Mambazo, but I mean...
Most of the songs are about Mandela, just because I think he's the one that paved a way for us. So most of the songs are about Mandela, and some of the songs are spiritual, of course, just because we need to praise or whatever. We need to praise God. We need to praise that we're here and we together. And together we know that we can bring hope. We can do it. We can just make this world a better place.
It's been a long journey.
It's been.
And you've gone through all the growth of this choir with all these collaborations and accolades and awards, Emmys, Grammys, singing with legends of the rock and pop musical scene. Did you ever imagine that the choir would go to these, would blossom in such a way?
As a person or as a girl from Soweto, from just the dusty streets of Soweto, we've never, when you're growing up, definitely you don't even dream of that one day you'll be touring the world. One day you'll be one of those who are famous. One day you'll be one of those who are the chosen ones. I call myself as the chosen one, just because it's not everyone who are being given this chance.
Heaven help us.
Le Soweto Gospel Choir se donne aussi une mission sociale et soutient l'ONG The Causes Haven, qui œuvre pour aider les enfants touchés par le VIH-Sida en Afrique du Sud. The Causes Haven fournit un foyer sûr, des soins médicaux, une éducation et un soutien émotionnel aux enfants et aux familles touchées par cette maladie.
Because he passed away on the 1st of June, 2001, so that's 18 years ago. Seems like yesterday. It was a child wanting to show that children were dying as well as adults were dying, and this is what a person with AIDS looked like. Because he always wanted to start something for other children. And he was so courageous and he was such a fighter. He's buried in the heroes section at West Park Cemetery. All this is because of him. It is his legacy, it's what he wanted, so that's what we do.
Nkosi's Haven is a completely magical world unto itself. It's a world full of color, it's a world full of joy, it's a world full of community, and it's a world full of caring.
We try and give as much as possible to our residents. It's nutrition, it's emotional, psychological, physical interventions and endorsement of staying alive.
So as you see around, you cannot even identify the person who's sick and who is not sick, because we make sure that they're taking their medication.
All our infected residents are on ARVs. But we also have patients who have psychological issues. Kids might be on antidepressants. So we've got some kids that are taking 12 different tablets a day. There was an obvious need for mother and child care. Keep that unit together for as long as possible.
This is home. I don't have to hide anything or be someone else. I just have to be myself and be a mother, the best of myself to them. And Nkosi's Heaven supports all of that.
Nkosi's Heaven, we started with Nkosi's Heaven way back in 2002, and we are still with them even today. So it's us giving back to the community. It's us taking care of those kids and saying to them, we are there for you, you are not alone. So wherever we go all over the world, we make sure that we bring something for them, and so that also they can feel wanted, they can feel like somebody do care about us. And you should see a beautiful smiles when we come there and sing with them and giving them those presents and giving them everything that we have to give them. But it's a very special initiative for us, and it's close to our heart. And wherever we go with them, we think about them.
How important is that part of your work, being a choir, but also, bringing about change in the region, helping others blossom and flourish?
I think that's a great thing. For us, like that's a win thing. I think we feel that we're bringing something to our community. We're doing something to our community through those organizations, through them seeing us that, you know what, there's a hope out there. There's a change. You just need to have that hope in you.
Cette année, cette collectivité entame un tour d'Europe afin de prêcher la bonne nouvelle en musique au monde occidental. You'll be starting a European tour in November. Touring at a moment in world history where there is a bit of shakiness in Europe, but in the Middle East as well. How do you feel about this tour? Do you think it has a very particular significance over this period?
I think it has a particular something that is significant, mainly because, as I mentioned earlier on, that music is very spiritual. Music has power to unite. Music has power to revive. Music has power to restore. I remember there's this lady when we were singing Amazing Grace. She was going through a lot. I think her husband passed on. But when we sang Amazing Grace, it healed her. That's the power that we need, and that's the power that we would like people to receive when we sing for them.
I think music, it does send that message of plea that, you know what, we can work things out, we can bring peace, or we can be together. Like with music, I think we can do that, we are doing that.
It's called hope. And why it's called hope? Because we're giving people hope. We're reviving people's energies. We want people to know that everything that is happening, it will pass. So we don't want to be politicians, but we want to be musicians that spread the message, the positive message of joy, peace, love, and happiness.
Harmonie vocale puissante, rythmes entraînants et paroles spirituelles. Le Soweto Gospel Choir a chanté l'amour, la rédemption et l'espoir, le temps d'un concert gratuit le 24 mai 2024.